Welcome to Poppin Off. I am Danny Otto. Joining with me tonight, it's the one, the only, it's Mr. Pete.
That's me. That's my hair, my Dolly Parton t-shirt. I'm prepared. Jolene.
I'm surprised you don't have a mini desk fan just blowing at you, so your hair just like goes in the breeze type of thing.
Look, I gotta wait for it to be, once it goes shoulder length, you're just gonna see me. Like right before Cori jumps on, I'm just.
By the way, shout out to Wilkes Booth, first comment in. Bang bang, what's the hang? Joining with us as always, hashtag Corbears. You're muted, Cori. You are totally muted right now. You're muted. You gotta unmute yourself.
That was like the hand signals don't go well with you being muted.
Yeah, what?
I was eating hummus before this, guys.
And what does this mean? How could that mean eating hummus?
Huh?
That's the hummus. That's the hummus dance.
That's the hummus.
Yeah. You didn't see that on Grubhub last week on last week's episode?
Did not see the hummus dance that apparently Cori was reenacting in silence.
So I just see Cori and I pay attention to these episodes.
Well, I just figured I was in. I'm not gonna watch it anyway. You guys ready for pop culture item of the night? Oh, hi, Johnny Rico.
Oh, hi.
Oh, hi.
Yeah, this was exciting. Yeah, jump in on that one.
This the kind of beat to go.
Okay.
I love that. I love that.
Here's why this is exciting. So any fans of Rick and Morty will be just as excited, hopefully, just as excited as both Pete and I are of this. There is a real pass the butter robot that is available for pre-order. And this is why this was so important. That's just like a mock-up right now. This isn't the exact way that the product will look, but you can order it at, I believe it's thebutterrobot.com right now until January 31st. Then they're going to close the pre-orders and they're going to reopen them hopefully again sometime in the summer. But the first batch of pre-orders are only until the 31st. It's $200, but there is like a passing mode where when it's in that setting, anyone who says the phrase pass the butter, it will pass a stick of butter to and respond to. And then there's like coding mode where you can like kind of write little command code things type of thing for anybody who's like actually a coder. I'm not, so that doesn't really matter for me, but there's like a lot of, yeah, there we go. The what is my purpose robot?
Danny gave me this as a gift, and now it's been 3 years since I moved to LA, and I'm down to like a part of an arm and a leg. But I'm sure that the robot is a lot more durable.
And I mean, this thing will like ride around like in your room or in your on your desk or something like. This thing is legit. I am so close to just not paying attention to the voice in my head that says don't buy things that you don't need. And buying this, I'm so close to that right now. So it's a race to the finish to see on the 31st if I actually get it or if I hold, like if I have enough restraint to not purchase it. What do you guys?
Is it actually going to pass the butter?
Yes. Yes.
But do you have to program it to pass the butter? Like,
No,
does it come naturally to pass the butter?
Yes. There is a command pass mode where when it's in that mode, all you have to do is say the phrase, pass the butter, and it will pass the butter to whoever says the phrase. Not just a random
the butter
person.
has to be in his hands, right? Like, it's not just going to go and pass the butter.
Yeah.
Okay. Well,
it was always in his hand.
But what if you wanted to do other things, Danny?
You write the code for it.
What if you wanted to pass the jelly, Danny? I think the dog was just saying. Yeah.
Dog. Dog was on my side. I'd like everybody to understand that. The dog was on my side.
She was like, pass the butter. Go on to the next one.
I don't know why I was stalling either, because I'm very excited about the first topic of Disney Plus Others. And I know Pete isn't, and I don't give a fuck, and that's my F. I don't care. I don't care. Because Episode 3 of WandaVision premiered last week. And now we get it in color. Full color WandaVision. I thought it was great. And this is, again, continuing with the spoilers, this is a scene right before Wanda kind of goes a little crazy and kicks somebody out of the delusion. And we see everything go out to the real world. And this person gets kicked out, who we now know is Monica Rambeau. And she's working with S.W.O.R.D. and all of this stuff. Dude, things are happening. I am very excited for the next episode. I like this slow burn. I like it because I know eventually, maybe it's not like the next episode, maybe it's not the episode right after that, but the last, hey FX, the last like chunk of this, if we're splitting these into thirds, we're a third of the way through this right now. The last third of this is going to be batshit crazy. So I think they're just slowly ramping up to batshit crazy town. And I'm very excited for that. But I enjoyed this episode just like I enjoyed the last 2 episodes. So I want to hear from Pete, see if he's getting a little bit more into it now. What do you think, Pete?
It's pulling me. It's pulling me.
We had action.
Yes. We had action. I do love how, it's becoming a little bit more where you don't know if, Wanda is just going crazy or like, what is this scenario that she's in? Obviously, like seeing, I guess, Agnes, that last little scene of like seeing everyone with the ID cards and her without one. I really love the Mephisto rumors, everything that's kind of boiling from that. But it is.
Her husband is Mephisto.
Yes.
The Bob guy. Yeah.
Which again is really interesting, and just the buildup. I do think that it's pulling me out a little bit now that it's not that it was in black and white or anything. It was campy and hammy before, but like I said, these little dips throughout of the reality or whatever it may be, it is having a great build. Like I am excited. I think this first wave did hook me to want to see more. These next 3 are going to be like all right, welcome to this fucking world, and then those final 3 are going to be complete exactly boo boo. Clusterfuck.
Anyway, Cori, did you have a chance to watch this, by the way?
I have not. I haven't.
Well, I didn't know. Maybe you would be interested in this one. I
actually am really interested in it, and I get even more so every single week. Because like I get like these little pieces, but I just haven't had a chance to sit down and watch it. Maybe this week.
She watched Soul. And that's all that I was really excited to hear that she did within Disney Plus is watching Soul. So I'm happy with that. Soul. Yeah, Dave's great.
I hope that you when you get a chance to watch this, you might enjoy some of it, type of thing, because it's not the same. It's a refreshing version, and I know you like some of the Marvel stuff, so I know it's not like anti-Marvel or anything, but I think it's interesting, and it's an interesting way that they're going about it. I think it's pretty cool. So I hope you get a chance to. But
hopefully.
You guys want to do some DC in 2021 and 60? I don't know. It's a very long title. You guys want to do some
DCU in 60? We're just giving it.
It's not even the DCU. It's the DCEU, and it's not even about the DCEU. By the way.
Okay,
anyway,
ready, go.
Go.
Damn you. All right. The DC Comics lineup is undergoing a major overhaul in 2021. A line-wide event called Future Slate will unfold over the next 2 months, starting in March of 2021. Pete!
James Gunn's Suicide Squad's coming out August 6th of this year. It's going to be on HBO Max and in theaters for the first 30 days.
Hey!
Gotham Knights is a new video game due sometime in 2021 that will be an action role-playing game with online co-op that allows players to play as Batgirl, Nightwing, Robin, or the Red Hood. Danny.
Yeah, both Black Lightning and the Flash series will be returning in February for new seasons of each show. Pete!
The Snyder Cut. I don't even need to say Justice League, but the Snyder Cut coming out in March. It's going to look like it's going to be 4 hours straight with some unreleased footage, some 5 minutes of like new material, but get ready for 4 hours of beast.
Cori!
All right, this isn't DC, but I'm going to add this anyway. Kevin Hart has been cast as Roland in the new Borderlands film that also features Cate Blanchett as Lilith. Like, no offense.
What is happening?
But Kevin Hart is not Roland. You cannot be 5'4" and also be the leader of the Crimson Raiders. And that's all I have to say about that.
What are you trying to say about guys who are 5'4"?
That you would not be able to be the leader of the Crimson Raiders. I was very direct.
Unless, of course, when they're filming it, they have like it on an angle, so it makes Danny look like 6 foot something. That's what they're going to do. They're going to make Kevin Hart look gigantic.
Look,
Right, but he would have to look gigantic next to someone. Like, he's not taller than Kate Blanchett, who's like 5'11" or something like that.
Yeah, straight. But again, it'll be interesting. Hopefully that is not, I mean, it'll probably be in the theaters, but it might be on a streaming service. And let's be honest, we got news about streaming services.
That's a transition.
I just tried to segue it. It was a real low ball on that one.
So Pete, what do you have to tell us about Apple TV Plus? Because look, I have this. I got this for free when I got my new iPhone. I activated it the last possible second that I could have to get a free year of it, and I got an email telling me that my service has been extended. My free year has been extended until July at this point. But what do you have? What news do you have?
That's exactly it. Congratulations, you're a part of the problem, Danny. But Apple is coming out.
It's under my name.
62% of Apple's current users are all going off the free subscription that they've offered, or the extended free subscription. And what Apple is running into in the issue is, because of their content, they only have about 55 original programs. Because of the lack of content that's coming out, a lot of people are not looking to renew. If they can't get this for free anymore, they're dropping. Unlike Netflix, unlike Disney Plus, unlike Hulu, where you have some of these free subscription bases based off of your cell phone provider or whatever it may be, more people are sticking with those even after their free subscription's done than Apple TV. Right now, Apple streaming service is bottom of the barrel. It is behind HBO Max. If it wasn't for Lasso and like Good Day America, Apple TV would be getting a kick to the dick right now.
I'm going to be honest. I was getting ready to cancel. I think my subscription was up in March, and like I left myself a reminder to cancel by the end of February. Yeah, I mean, I really liked the Beastie Boys documentary or doc series thing that was on there. I'm just not like, yeah.
Well, here are the numbers. Oh, go, Cori.
No, I'm just saying this. Isn't this kind of like what we expected when everyone just kind of split off from each other? Like, you start spreading yourself so thin, somebody's going to not be able to live up to the hype.
Yeah, right. I absolutely agree.
And Apple's is banking it on, like, we have every other possible product that is Apple, but like their streaming service, not so good. The interesting thing that I got was when they reached out to people streaming services, the most people that said that they would keep their streaming service after this: Netflix, 72%, Amazon, 52%, Hulu, 39%, Disney, 30%, HBO Max, 13%. Amount of people that said they'd keep Apple, 9%.
Well, here's the other thing. Like, there are some that are I guess more incentive. Like the Amazon Prime, like that just makes sense. If you're gonna buy stuff off Amazon, you're gonna have Amazon Prime.
Right.
You know what I mean? So you're getting a lot of built-in customers that way. A lot of people are just used to Netflix. Like, what you're used to, you kind of keep. And
their original programming is really good.
No, I'm not taking away from that at all. I promise. Like, programming wise, I'm just trying to like separate that, but put in like incentives of why people are keeping other, like, you know what I mean? Like,
right,
I agree with that. I agree with that. But I think, just bring it full circle really quick so that we don't have to spend a ton of time on this, is Apple TV really didn't really have, like, it came out of nothing, basically, is my point. Like, Apple TV was like a box that you could stream stuff through, and that was it. You could keep your collection of everything in. And now Apple TV Plus is making you pay for a service, and it's just like, I don't really need this. Like, that's the only problem, I think.
The streaming wars will be interesting in 2021. Absolutely.
Yeah. You guys want to do some hashtag?
I mean, there are things that are trending.
So we're going to kick this off with a very interesting story. And Pete, I'm going to let you go lead on this, but I'm just going to intro the story here. So a lady has been fighting since 2017 to have herself declared alive, basically. I read this story and then I read it again, and I found this picture of her holding a cat, and I just thought it was fitting. But if I was a very good editor, I would have edited edited her reflection out of the mirror and just been like, how crazy is it if she was really just a ghost? Anyway.
Or a
Pete,
vampire.
Danny.
Or a vampire. But Pete, why don't you explain how this lady got to the situation that she's in, where she's been fighting for 3 years to have the courts declare her alive after declaring her dead in 2017?
Well, to kick it off and let me butcher her name, I'm gonna say it's Janae Pouchain, but like since she's French, it might be Janae Pouchain. But regardless of it, we think that our American legal system is terrible. 2017, she was actually, one of her employees were coming back for pay from her, and she was going through a court system. And literally, as this thing became escalated throughout, the court literally ruled that neither she nor her relatives, first of all, should receive any summons for the hearing in the first place, because it was going to be dismissed for the sole fact that she's not living.
Yeah, I don't I read that part over and over again. I was like, there's no indication. It wasn't like she was in an accident and she was filing for some sort of claim or something. I don't understand how it ever got to the situation where like she's listed as deceased. There was no accident on her side. There was nothing.
I think that's like a paperwork error. Danny.
It's like a weird, it really is. It's a weird judicial paperwork error because, again, it's her company going through, and the employee was just filing for, after 20 years, I no longer have a job. So her named company, as it was going through, neither her company was legit nor the name behind it. So through the legal paperwork, she was deemed not a living person, which has fucked her tremendously, because based off of that, now her husband can't get into their bank account.
Because it's a joint bank account.
Yes, because she's dead and they have no paperwork to file that she's dead. So her kids are struggling. She can't get to work. She says she's like, I just go out on my terrace and I write. Girl, you have a fucking book on your hands that you can write about for these last 3 years from being like, literally, this is, oh God, she's like, I don't know how to say it in French, Weekend at Bernie's. We're doing.
No, I got it. Wait. She's living dead.
Okay, yeah, that's a zombie one. I was gonna go Weekend at Bernie's, but like I was like, I thought you French. I was like, oh my God, how do you say weekend in French? But never mind.
This is absolutely fucking crazy, and I know that's 2 for me, but Pete had like 4 at this point. But
yeah, it's okay.
This is batshit crazy. Just to think that like that's not a normal box that you would think would get checked in this kind of proceedings and court systems and stuff like that. Like, if it was like an accident or she was filing like workers' comp or something like that, I could see how like, oh, maybe one of these boxes got checked wrong or something like that. This shouldn't have even been in the same realm of paperwork.
No, and even the court's like, yeah, that's a really bad mistake on our end. My bad. And it's like, no, yeah, okay, I get it. In 2017, it's 2021 now. And like it's a shame that she's fighting, but listen, with other news that we get, it doesn't matter what time frame, we can always find new evidence of things.
Yeah. And look, Pete, I don't want to get all scientific. And once again, I think you brought this story in, and I want to tell everybody out there, we're going to throw around some scientific terms, but don't be afraid of them and don't zone out, because it's a new discovery. So Pete, why don't you enlighten us on the scientific nature of the discovery of dinosaur buttholes?
Well, as producer Tim would like it to be like termed as, it's a cloacal vent. I believe that's what it's called. It's a cloacal vent. But listen, some scientists found out an intact dino butthole, which they honestly, like, again, throughout, like, you didn't think, like, we don't think about these things as just normal human beings. We're not in this field. But as they were going through it, they found it intact, which at that point, which is interesting because they were thinking that their close relative would be a bird, so the anatomy would be similar to that, but it's not. It's more like an alligator. And it's like, wait, where the hell did that come from? Like, so it's just interesting that this is the first time in our documented history that scientists have a legitimate dino butthole where they can understand just how the dinosaurs are processing everything. So again, they're peeing, they're pooping, they're having babies, they're making intercourse. Like, now these scientists, and the thing is,
out of one hole?
Yeah.
out of one hole.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. I'm learning things. No, I'm here for it. Go ahead, keep going.
I had no idea that they're like the way that the bird is different than that. I was like, oh man, that's crazy. I didn't know that mammals are pretty much the only ones that have like different holes that stuff come out of. I didn't know that. I learned so much. But like basically what they found it though, I want to get the name of the dinosaur exactly. It's the size of a lab, but I'm going to butcher the name of it. But it's Sicacosaurus. It's a Brogan.
It's a Brogan.
It's a Brogosaurus.
It's the size of a lab, so it's not like some giant ass dinosaur, but it's really well intact. And this is the tip in this sense, where it's allowing science to really understand some crazy shit about dinosaurs. Which, listen, long story short, we're one step away from Jurassic Park. We are closer. The fact that they found out how these dinosaurs excrete things, we are closer to Jurassic Park, people.
Welcome to Jurassic Park. You guys ready for some fails of the week?
I guess.
Yeah.
Into it.
I think that went a lot better than it could have done.
Seems like a good idea. I approve that.
Do it for the gram, girl.
This. Oh.
Look at the dog. I like that one for the dog.
This is something I would do 110%.
Said I
That's
can't.
the thing I would do.
Oh.
Right there.
Oh.
But that kid has a smile at the end.
This is one of my favorites. Absolutely. You said do it for the gram. That's gram for sure.
Oh.
Today's old.
She got
This was terrible.
Pure regret. Pure regret.
Evil hamster. Better watch where you're going.
Well, that just
he
makes
followed.
sense.
He listened to him at least.
Like, and this.
Oh no!
That wasn't a good idea. Your glasses are very good.
No, it wasn't.
Your glasses are broken.
Yeah. At what point do you decide I'm going to jump on this balloon? This seems like a good idea. It'll pop. As an adult,
I would totally do that. What are you talking about?
I would too. 10 years ago. I'm not even still an adult then. I'm still an adult 10 years ago.
Gamer time! 3, 2, 1, go!
Last thing I'll say before gamer time is I kept my mouth shut because a lot of those things that went wrong are things that I was like, I'll probably do that. Especially moving the fish tank with everything connected, like the bookcase with everything connected to it. I'd be like, move smarter, not harder. Like, yeah, 110%. Cori, what do you got for us this week for some gamer time segment?
So it was an interesting week for Microsoft this past week, where I think it was last Friday they announced that they were going to increase prices for Xbox Live, all the way up to it doubled the price of a yearly subscription from $60 to $120, which also made it twice as expensive as PlayStation Now, and everyone was upset. I mean, honestly, I really did try to see the other side of things, especially with everything they've acquired this year. But, in the time of the pandemic, it didn't really make a lot of sense. So after about a whole day of people, reaching out to them on Twitter and every other social media, they released an apology the following morning that basically said, we have not had a good day. And they've
throw that back up. Yeah, throw that back up. We actually have the tweet.
Today was not great. So they've reversed the prices. So we're going back to the normal prices. And not only that, they've also added that free-to-play games are going to also have free online. So games like Fortnite or is Apex free? I think Apex is also free to play. Games like that you can play without having an Xbox Live subscription. And I think that this really goes a long way towards not having to pay for online, because PC players don't have to pay for online except for their internet. So I think it's really great that like the community was kind of able to rally around things, and Microsoft had a really great year in 2020. So this was a really great way for them to show that they really do care about the gamers, and they are really listening to what we're saying.
I think, I think it's nothing but good, because now it's like even people that were on the fence between Xbox and PlayStation are now going, look, Xbox actually gives a shit about what people think at this point. So like, I think it's definitely a win-win in this. I mean, definitely want to say something, Pete.
I love how that's what you guys are like. Oh yeah, it's good. I'm thinking about the asshole that said this was a good idea in the first place, and then when the shit storm hit, because like Cori, you were very nice about it. You were like, yes, and they said they didn't have a good day. No, they got fucking lit up. Microsoft got completely lit up. I'm curious about the exec that championed this to like jump the prices, and then when everything hit, they were like, Robert, what an asshole, right?
Yeah, but you gotta think about what Microsoft has done this year. They've acquired two big studios. I mean, like EA, they didn't acquire, but you have your EA Pass on Game Pass, and then you also have Bethesda, and we really don't know where they're going with that. If they start releasing those games on Game Pass, like it actually, to me, it makes sense to raise the prices, but maybe not now. It was timing. Read the room, Microsoft. Now was not the right time.
I look at it, and I know we have to move on. I promise. I'll just make a really quick point. I look at it as it's been this constant battle of the execs that wanted to raise prices over time, and there's been this one guy who's been like holding the door the entire time, and then all of a sudden he like left, or maybe like had a vacation, and then they were like, fuck it, let's raise prices. I said it 3 times now. And that's when they let it go. And then he came back the next day and he was like, what did you guys do? I was gone for a day. And then everything went back to normal. So that's what I think happened. Anyway, Cori, what else you got?
Another Microsoft story. Microsoft filed a patent to create chatbots from your dead loved ones.
And if it sounds like a...
No. I don't know if I have to explain this to you guys, but there are multiple Black Mirror episodes explaining why this is not a good idea. I mean, beyond like the psychological, like dealing with your grief and dealing with the loss of a loved one is healthy and kind of how we deal with life in the first place. I think it's also a little bit creepy that they're going to take all of, because it's like the image of the person, their personality, they can talk to you. I don't think it's like in actual physical form, but like just in a chat. But like it goes through their social media posts and electronic messages, and it creates this person that you have at one part been like somewhat in a relationship with, or like intimate with. And I mean, when it's in the screen and it's not something that could be or ever could happen, I'm like, oh, that's a really interesting theory. But now that we're here and that could be a reality, I'm like, no, that's creepy. What do you guys
it's
say?
all kinds of creepy. Are you kidding me? Like, this is all kinds of creepy. Like, not only that, but I read like the article goes on, they're like, no, we could like forget just 2D, we could do 3D on like digging up the old photos to get like different versions of them. Like it could be like the present day, and then it could be like early versions of the 20-year-old version or the 30-year-old version of this like lots of like stuff. And this is just patent level. This isn't like, oh, we're about to roll this out. So in like 5 years, 10 years, like this could be like super creepy. We're not talking, you're talking about on screen because that's kind of what we're thinking of in terms of this year. But like, this is just patent level. So like when this is real, it could be 5 years down the line when like AI stuff is in like physical formed things. Like this could be absolutely batshit creepy crazy.
I want none of it. No, it's terrifying. I mean, you look at social medias now, just in general, they like archive your profile or put like an in memoriam on your profile if you die. So it's already guaranteed that that profile is with someone that's dead. And yeah, they're looking into 2D and 3D. They're mapping out everything. To me, it's just terrifying to know that 5 years down the line, you can pay for a cameo from grandma and be like, yo, I know exactly what I want to do. I don't want that musician anymore. I want grandma to go and talk to my niece. No, I don't want that to happen. You have Kanye spending money on fucking things for Kim's father and being like, hey, here's a hologram. Last thing I need is my grandmother to be like, hey, Pete, you should really get off the hub at night sometimes.
It knows where you've been searching. How about product of the night?
I like it.
Yeah.
All right, guys. So product of the night is fire condoms. Can we
God bless him.
quick picture of this?
There we go, people. That's exactly. I know what you're thinking right away.
Get your mind out of the gutter.
Sex, but it's not. These are fire condoms. 932 degree heat resistant glove right to your hand. No, but that's it. I mean, that is exactly it. If you're
Why
looking
is it called a condom,
because
I
it's
thought we were going to have an actual fire condom.
No, but it's protecting you.
No,
That's
I'm
why.
gonna call all oven mitts fire condoms from now on. 110%.
That's what I think. I was like, oh man, this is my pie condom. And I just big pies. And I'm like, oh man. Like, yeah, that's it. When I see the doctor next time, I'm like, oh, you got a medical condom. Hey. Like just snapping that shit off. That is it. No?
Oh wait, throw up. We've got an instructional thing on the back
Yes,
of the
to show you exactly what to do.
Are there children on the same packaging as the word condom?
Yes,
Well,
so
Let's
it's a
be
fire
fair
condom.
here.
Yes. I mean, hold on. Let's look. I don't know what the definition of condom may be. Oh, okay, well that includes penis on it, but it's a condom. It says a thin rubber sheath, but then
Wait, did you Google it?
I have that right now.
The thumb is ripped for pleasure. Thank you, Billy.
Yeah. So okay, so that can help. Looking up the definition of condom does not help with anything.
I
But I
wouldn't think it would.
They're supposed to help.
I like how you just muted yourself first.
I did. I do. I mute myself because like I hear the dogs barking, my phone's going off. I'm getting all excited and worked up over fire condoms. I don't even know when the show's ending.
They were just getting excited for like reenacting Who Let the Dogs Out from Baja Men, which now I'm gonna have to go listen to. I mean that's pretty much our show. I can't believe we got from Passing Butter Robot pre-orders to fire condoms, and that's where we are. How you guys?
There were two robots. We had two robots.
And if you count the chat robot is the I guess the creepiness.
I think we all put something today.
What if you put dead relative AI in the Pass the Butter Robot?